Good morning, everybody. In this video, we're going to be discussing the four major theories of everything and what they have in common so we can find the objective truth buried beneath each of them. The goal of this video will be to reconcile the paradoxes between science and religion so that everybody can stop disagreeing. Stay tuned till the end, and I'll explain all of this. So to begin this video, we start with a fundamental problem. The contradictions that exist not in nature but in our language. We have four systems that attempt to describe reality. Quantum field theory speaks in fields and excitations. Atomic theory speaks in particles and structure. String theory speaks in vibrating one-dimensional fundamentals. And the Hermetic texts speak in correspondence, mind, and symbolic causality. Yet each of them in their own way try to describe what is real. So in this video, we'll be diving into what really is real. We'll start off with the theory that everybody is most familiar with, and I want to highlight the key word in all these is theory, which means idea. But to go on, start with atomic theory. Atoms explain bonding, matter, form, and reaction. Electrons occupy probabilistic regions. Nuclei bind, elements emerge. From this, the world becomes predictable enough to build civilizations. Okay? Atomic theory basically says that everything in the universe is made of small units of electricity that are orbiting and vibrating themselves, okay? So let's move on to the next subject. Here we have another representation of atoms, because as we said earlier, they represent probabilistic wave functions. That's what those particles in the last picture represent. They never said they truly existed like that. They more so said they exist like this as waves, not particles. Only the measurement is what collapses the wave function of these particles. So take a very hard look at these here, and I want you to tell me how they are similar to this. So here in this video, we have sound frequencies in a very popular YouTube video being played on a plate with sand on it, and it organizes complex structures in the sand through vibrations. Doesn't this look eerily similar to the atomic wave functions shown in the last picture, and also what we're going to see later in the video? Just hold on to these pictures inside your head, right? Also, I would like to call into question a quote from the Bible that says, "In the beginning was the Word," right? A lot of religious texts have this trope of saying that in the beginning was the Word, or another way of saying it is in the beginning was sound or thought or vibration, because all these things are the same thing, right? Looking at the video with the frequency plate, it's easier to understand what religion could possibly be trying to say with "in the beginning was the Word." But that's enough of that for right now. Now we'll be taking a look at string theory. String theory, in its essence, how it differs from atomic theory is it's saying, what if particles are not points or disturbances, but vibrations of fundamental strings in a higher dimensional space, right? Mass, charge, and spin are not properties, but resonant patterns. Reality is not stuff, it is a harmonic geometry, right? And this is very similar to the quantum field theory that we're going to discuss a little bit later in this video. But take a look at these strings and think back in your head to how those frequencies looked on the plate. And also think back to the atomic wave functions in the beginning of the video and see the similarities in the imagery between all these things. In this picture, this is a way to visualize quantum field theory. The quantum field theory essentially says that everything in reality is made of an essential essence, and that essential essence manifests itself in varying rates of vibration and ripple effects in this quantum field. And you can take note of the geometrical structure in these ripples and note how they are very, very similar to all the other things I've shown you. The gist of quantum field theory is that there are no things in the way you imagine them. There are fields, excitations in the field, and particles are not objects. They are events in a deeper continuity. The electron is not a ball. It is a stable disturbance in an electron field. Reality at its base is not solid. It is an invisible structure with measurable outcomes. Now that we've given a brief explanation of the leading scientific theories of everything, now we're going to move on to the religious philosophical side of it. And for that, I've chosen the Hermetic text to represent all of religion on the planet because it's a philosophical text and it doesn't contradict any religions of the world because it simply states what all these other things are saying, that reality is made of a universal substance, and that universal substance is an infinite living mind. And that is very similar to basically what all religions call God, or whether if you don't want to call it God and you want to call it energy, whatever you want to call it, everybody agrees that the universe is made of one thing. So now I want you to take a listen to a brief excerpt from the Hermetic text speaking about, the first one is going to be about the all, which is the entire universe, and the second is going to be about the law of vibration, which is very, very pertinent to the subject that we're talking about currently.
The all. Under and back of the universe of time, space, and change is ever to be found the substantial reality, the fundamental truth, the kybalion. Substance means that which underlies all outward manifestations, the essence, the essential reality, the thing in itself, etc. Substantial means actually existing, being the essential element, being real, etc. Reality means the state of being real, true, enduring, valid, fixed, permanent, actual, etc. Under and behind all outward appearances or manifestations, there must always be a substantial reality. This is the law. Man, considering the universe, of which he is a unit, sees nothing but change in matter, forces, and mental states. He sees that nothing really is, but that everything is becoming and changing. Nothing stands still. Everything is being born, growing, dying. The very instant a thing reaches its height, it begins to decline. The law of rhythm is in constant operation. There is no reality, enduring quality, fixity, or substantiality in anything. Nothing is permanent.
So what this very old text is trying to point out to us here is that everything is made of an underlying substantial reality. Substantial meaning the lowest building block that you can get down to. All these theories that I've shown you previously do not contradict what was just said. So now we're going to move on to the next thing, and at the end we'll make some closing statements in order to wrap up everything that we've learned today and see how it is applicable.
Chapter 9. Vibration. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. The kybalion. The great third Hermetic principle, the principle of vibration, embodies the truth that motion is manifest in everything in the universe, that nothing is at rest, that everything moves, vibrates, and circles. This Hermetic principle was recognized by some of the early Greek philosophers who embodied it in their systems. But then, for centuries, it was lost sight of by the thinkers outside of the Hermetic ranks. But in the 19th century, physical science rediscovered the truth, and the 20th century scientific discoveries have added additional proof of the correctness and truth of this centuries-old Hermetic doctrine. The Hermetic teachings are that not only is everything in constant movement and vibration, but that the differences between the various manifestations of the universal power are due entirely to the varying rate and mode of vibrations. Not only this, but that even the all, in itself, manifests a constant vibration of such an infinite degree of intensity and rapid motion that it may be practically considered as at rest, the teachers directing the attention of the students to the fact that even on the physical plane, a rapidly moving object, such as a revolving wheel, seems to be at rest.
So in closing, whether you believe in a universal God, atoms, string theory, quantum field theory, or universal infinite living mind, regardless of what you believe in, the similarity between all these things is that the universe is made of one substance. That's the thing that everybody agrees on, regardless of religion, science, whatever. Everybody, even people that take drugs, LSD, shrooms, whatever, everybody that takes that, they always say, we're all one, man, we're all one. Why is it everybody, independent of the road they walk, all arrive at the same answer, that the universe is one? I say because it's the objective truth. I hope this video was informative to you. I hope it helped you to see things in a different light. If there was anything that didn't make any sense to you, please leave a comment down below and tell me how I could explain it better. Have a good day.